Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. Since I can't see who's here in YouTube Live, please say hello. Also, give me a quick sound check if you would, please. Thank you very much, Jay. All right. 5-tick crude. Standard trade plan is not to get in sync on this chart, but if you do, this yellow trade right here would have been a get in sync candidate that would have been 12 ticks to target 3 and 12 ticks on the trailer for one and done. If not, your first trade would have been this long. If you're trading the diamond level, that would have been a full stop out for a loss of 13 ticks, 26 ticks on 2 positions. The trade off the 20 SMA diamond level trade would have been a short. Adjust, stop and reverse adjust would be to the original stop of the long trade, so 57.48. That one doesn't get very far. And would be a stop and reverse to long at 63, which has not been hit, so we would still be short on that trade. If you're just trading the gold level, this would have been an entry at 61 on the long, and you would be in the long. So a little bit of difference depending on what trades you're taking. There is a potential yellow short here that's at the stop from the long trade for those in it. For those in the dark blue trade, your money management is 57.38. So that's where we are right there with that at the moment. 8-tick crude we do get in sync with. So this is a this yellow trade from 847.51 on my chart is a get in sync. Hits target 1 for 18 ticks and trails down to 57.61. The entry was at 57.72 for another 11 ticks on position 2. Did not quite getting to target 2, missing by 2 ticks. So that's 29 ticks. Target 1 and trail 1 and done. That's the same for everybody. Unleaded. This yellow trade is too early and goes too far, well before, hits money management well before our start time. So we have to wait for that one. We pick up a diamond level 20 SMA, the dark blue 20 SMA trade at 916.32. That triggers in, hits money management, and comes back. The entry for that was at 65.88, and our stop would be 65.87, and we did come back and just barely get ticked out of that for a 1-tick break even. So looking for another trade on unleaded. No trades yet this morning with our 8:30 start time on the pound Aussie. The early yellow trade had gone too far, so that we ignore that one, and the short was filtered by the squeeze zone. 50 EMA falling in between the entry and target 1. So still flat on the pound Aussie, waiting for our first trade there. Welcome to those getting into the stream a few minutes late. Our 8-tick crude chart was one and done this morning, finishing up by about 9:15. 5-tick crude, if you got in sync, would have been one and done. If not, you took a full loss, and on the gold level, you're in the long trade. If you took the dark blue SMA trade on the 5-tick crude, you're actually still in the short there, because the stop and reverse on the long would have pushed the entry up to 63 and kept you in the short. It looks like the Russell is in a pre-market long, and the YM is in a pre-market short. That blue long has canceled. So looking for new setups for both of those. And the market will open in about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Glad everybody's finding us on YouTube Live. The dark blue trades on my chart are part of the Spotlight Master Suite diamond level. Those are the equivalent trade to the yellow, except that they're off of the simple moving average, which by default is the 20 simple moving average, this dark blue line on my charts. So I've actually got two possible trades going there on 5-tick crude. And looks like a bit of a slow morning so far. We had a yellow label report early this morning, and we have another yellow label report at 10 o'clock, so nothing to cause us to stand down for anything. some of the two trades in the diamond level that Troy didn't go over yesterday are the 20 or the SMA trade and the EMA2, which normally is our 200, with the where you have to have the exhaustion dots within proximity to those moving averages to set up a trade, just like the yellow trade is proximity to the 50 SMA or 50 EMA. And the markets are open. That long trade on the YM was 2 seconds before our start times. And it's hit the stop, so that's a no trade anyway. The YM short from 178. The Russell in the pre-market long, that was about 10 minutes early, but it would be a get in sync candidate. And with support off the 50, that's a reasonable trade to take. 86.3. Money management at 88.2 and target at 89.6. YM in the short. Five tick crude is everybody now is in the long. Those in the blue short, that because it did trigger in unadjusted, that stop and reverse remained valid, never hit its stop, and so we came back and did hit the entry at 63. So everybody's long now on the 5 tick crude. $14 tick or 28 tick loss there, so down 54 on the 5 tick crude. If you took the stop and reverse, down 26 and in the long on the gold level. If you didn't take the short. And the Russell hit money management, stopped out for a 1 tick break even. So we'll be looking. We'll ignore that trade anyway, since it triggered in well before our start time. Trade plan is not a get in sync on that one. Good morning, all. And the Russell in a short. That was a quick short to try to get in. 85.6. Got another chance to get in. And now you definitely should be in the short on the Russell from 85.6. Money management at 83.2. Target at 81.4. So the Russell and the YM are both short now. Five tick crude is long. Unleaded is flat. 8 tick crude is POQ, so we're not looking for anything there. pound Aussie is still flat. No trades this morning. Looks like we could have a long trade setting up on unleaded. If we get an up close here, $66.18 would be the entry, assuming it doesn't go any lower than it already has. And the Russell touching money management coming back for, looks like a break-even stop at 85.6. So that's one money management trade. Looking for another yet. And there is the long on unleaded at 66.18. Pound Aussie with a long trade on my charts. At 78.61. So with assuming two pips for spread, that would be an entry order at 78.63. My data being different than that on TradeStation, Trade Today may or may not get that trade, and I haven't seen Kevin posting anything, so most likely that's not a trade that's on TradeStation. But I will trade my charts as usual. Unless you're following the alert service, you always want to trade your charts. 5-tick crude stopping and reversing to short now. 58.47. So that actually brings the money management down to 37. Pound Aussie trade did trigger in on my chart. The long trade on unleaded canceled. The 5-tick crude did hit money management and has hit target 2. Stop at 46. The YM still in its short. Looks like now it might be starting to make some progress. Five-tick crude stopped to 43 now. Hitting target 3. Target 2 was worth 13 ticks. The Russell moving down. And the YM moving down as well. Money management on the YM. So stops to break even, or plus 1 tick. So the stops will be at 177. Target is at 120. Actually, we can take target 1 here, since we're on the 14 tick range bar, 14 point momentum bar for TradeStation. So that would be at 140 for 38 ticks. If we haven't gotten down there yet. $57.41 for the 5-tick crude stop. Unleaded still flat. And my pound Aussie long trade still working. It pushed its session high up just slightly, but didn't quite get to money management. Money management, it looks like it's 73. Yeah, just over 73. Long on the Russell now. 80.4. That's one that quite possibly is a reaction if the down move continues. I'd like to see it at least test that first swing before we go back up again. 200 seem acting as resistance. YM stop at 173 now. And we stopped out and on the trailer and triggered long at 41 on the 5-tick crude. And the YM hitting its stop, so that's a partial. Just 5 ticks, and long on the YM now at 182. Will it be able to push up through its 50 EMA? Unleaded. Looks like it's trying to set up another I don't understand why we didn't get it. Oh, there. Oh, yeah, I do. That's. Oh, yeah, it wasn't over above. Yeah, unleaded, long from 65, 68. Target at 66, 69. Big trade, 100 pip target, 100 plus pip target. And the Russell testing the 200 EMA again, as well as the 50 EMA. And I would definitely be in that 5-tick crude going through, hitting target 2 for 14 ticks. And our stop currently at 44. Did the YM make its money management? 212. Yes, it did. So the YM stop moves to 183. Russell missing its money management by 1 tick. If the Russell hits money, there's money management on the Russell. This will be a POQ trade. Stop now comes to 80.8, 80.9. Unleaded also, yeah, unleaded picked up that big trade. Entry at 66.27. No, that's not right. It was at 65.88. Yeah, money management at 66.27. And target 66.69. Five-tick crude stop now at 54. And the Russell getting close to target 2. 85.9 for target 2. Missing by 1 tick, so I definitely would protect the position at target 1 if nothing else at 84.0. And getting up to 7.8, there's target 2. Stop to 81.7. The YM is in its POQ trade as well. It would be 2 money management trades. The Russell in the POQ trade. The YM stop at 83, although it looks like it's going to go to 87 if we close up on this bar. And the Russell stop at 83.4. Unleaded, I'm sorry, 8-tick crude stop 57.63. Money management on the unleaded. So that will be a POQ trade for those of you that took the diamond level trade back here. Gold level traders still need to get up to target 2 for the POQ. 66.69. And there is a stop move up to 65.79. YM did move up to 187. And the Russell up to 84.2. Looks like hitting target 3. And this probably is going to get us very close to positive, if not positive, on the 5-tick crude chart. So this will be very close to POQ. Actually, for gold level traders, this should definitely be a POQ. On the 5-tick crude, for diamond level, it may get you positive, it may not. 57.69 for the 5-tick crude stop. Still 79 for the unleaded stop. Pound Aussie still hanging in the long. Now with the short there, that with your 2-tick stop and reverse adjust, or 2-pip stop and reverse adjust, that would bring that short trade out of the squeeze zone. And it would be a possible trade. Failure to get higher could set up on Pound Aussie, could set up a move lower, but right now it's finding support at the 50 EMA, which it's done a couple of times before this morning. Unleaded stop now to 65.94. And 57.73 for the 5-tick crude stop. And the Russell did stop out ultimately on trailer at 85.4. So the Russell is done. We also got stop another small partial on the YM at 187, so it is done. Just what, 5 ticks on that one, so 10 ticks there, and we got fine. Yeah, we've got 20 ticks is all we got on the YM this morning. So POQ on the YM. Being as large as that trade was, I certainly wouldn't be adverse to taking profit on the unleaded gas trade at target 1. That would have been 66 ticks. So that's going to be $275, and leave you trailing the second position at 65.94. Now this would be a stop and reverse short. At 65.94, which is, yeah, that's a stop out at 65.94 for diamond level traders. That's POQ. That's a positive partial win for, that's your first partial for those on the gold level Spotlight Master Suite. So now you're looking for money management at 65.68 on the short to get you to POQ. Okay, the 8 tick did stop out at 73. The Russell and the YM are done. Gold level is definitely done on the 5 tick. On the 8 tick, or I'm sorry, on the diamond level on the 5 tick, you probably need to take this short trade at 57.72. Money management at 62. Pound Aussie surviving. Trade today did get the setup for the short at 78.48, but that has not triggered. So that's a case where stop and reverse was fine on my chart, but not the original trade, because my balance line is at, I'm sorry, my EMA is at 48.8. And my entry was at 49, yeah. So just minor differences in the data have us with different setups. Trade today with the short setup at 48. That has not triggered. The filtered trade on my chart hasn't triggered either. We got as low as 49.4. And of course, with the stop and reverse adjust, definitely not triggered. And now we're looking for a trade, 10 a.m. trade on the crude chart. We have this short at 57.9. That is a get in sync for the 10 a.m. session. And for those for the gold level traders on unleaded, money management and target 2. So 54 tick target 2 there. Adding to your partial, and that's going to be a POQ for you. And 5 tick crude getting to target as well. That's a 14 tick target. And I believe that should definitely get the 5 tick crude positive for everybody. So this will be a POQ trade on the 5 tick. All right. So now we see where it goes from here. If you accepted the stop and reverse here at 47, it did come down and hit it. All right, it got within 2 ticks and probably filled. Very likely filled. Interesting. And TradeStation apparently didn't get down that low. Didn't get to their entry at 48. So still waiting. Five-tick crude still in its short trade if you needed it to get positive. $57.66 for the stop. Unleaded at $65.91 for its stop. Those both being POQ trades for anybody that wasn't positive already. That's the second, at least, money management trade on unleaded. And that trade on 5-tick crude should get everybody positive. The 8-tick crude is in its first 10 a.m. session trade in the short. Okay, 5-tick crude stopped out at 63. So that ends the day there. Unleaded stopped now at 81. And the 8-tick crude price is hung up amongst the moving averages there. Right in between all three moving averages. And the pound Aussie is stuck in a squeeze zone of its own between with all three of its moving averages. Stuck in between the 50 and the 200 at the moment. So we're in wait and see mode. Three charts across the bottom are our active charts. Pound Aussie unleaded gas is in a POQ trade, and the 8-tick crude. Yeah, I would expect that, Don, because that's my data off of Owanda got down to just above 47, so just a couple of ticks from 47, so I would expect that would have triggered in Owanda. Okay, unleaded stopped out. at 81. So that is done whichever way you played it. Diamond level traders were finished on the stop out of the blue trade. And gold level traders took the short, got target 2 and the trailer to put them to POQ. A lot of 2 and dones this morning. 8-tick crude being our only 1 and done on the 9 o'clock session. Currently in the short trade on the 10 o'clock session. So 10 o'clock session, 8-tick crude, and the pound Aussie are the only things we're still watching. Any questions this morning? When did you sign up? Did you open your Owanda account after July? All right. Well, unless you've already gotten the connection to Ninja, you can't right now. I haven't looked at Owanda lately to see if they've gotten. I was able to do that when NinjaTrader was an introducing broker for Owanda. But when NinjaTrader ceased introducing to Forex brokers last year, it was around July, around the 1st of July, I think it was. Since then, you haven't been able to connect to Owanda. You can only use Owanda through MT4 or their native app. My understanding is they're trying to work out a price structure with NinjaTrader and get it back connected, but that may or may not happen. I'm just glad I did get connected while they were doing it, because I have been very happy with the integration with NinjaTrader. That must be Troy. Good morning. You can't tell us apart in the chat, Troy, because we're both signed in to the Backpacktrader account. Successful morning, not big, but POQs on the Russell and the YM. 5-tick crude, a 1 and done on the 8-tick crude 9 a.m. session. We're currently in the short on the 10 a.m. session. Unleaded gas getting POQ on 2 trades. And my pound Aussie chart approaching, it just hit money management on the long. The short was just barely filtered out by the 50 EMA. Okay, the short trade on Awanda did trigger, or I'm sorry, the short trade on Trade Today did trigger and just hit its stop. And we got about 5 more minutes to pick up a setup on the pound Aussie in Trade Today, or then we'll pause until, yeah, exactly. Just bad luck on the Trade Today. Yeah, no, but I'm just saying if I haven't typed anything in the comments, but I would be showing up as Backpack Trader as well. That's why I was saying you can't tell us apart this morning. But I knew I wasn't typing in any comments, so that had to be Troy. I started to say, you must be trading your own charts, MJ, because Trade Today didn't have the long. Now, my data actually missed the stop and reverse by 2 ticks, but I got filled anyway. So I was very unlucky. I got filled and took the full stop out on the short. Target 1 hit on my chart on pound Aussie. So actually by that chart, if you follow it strictly by the chart, that's going to be a POQ. I did. Awanda hit the bid on Awanda data actually missed the stop and reverse by 2 ticks, but I got filled anyway. I had my order in at 47. Anybody else lost audio? Okay. All right, glad to hear everybody but MJ is hearing me fine. 8-tick crude still in the short trade. Right back into the moving averages again. And hitting target 2. So my Owanda data different than the TradeStation data. I picked up the yellow trade off of these exhaustion dots right back here, which were within 4 pip proximity to the 50, and that has been a successful trade. I took the stop and I had placed the stop and reverse because it did, the two pip adjustment did make that a valid trade. Yeah, that's right. The right thing to do if you're working by your charts, Mary Jean. Stick with them and trade what your charts say. Trade a day now in a long. Yeah, and I see the trade. My charts don't show it because I never hit the stop and reverse. So getting 14 and 22 ticks so far. And the 8-tick crude taking heat. Stop at 57.87. My pound Aussie stop is at 86.3 or 78.63. So 2 pips on the trailer so far. Don, the best way I can think of is at this point is and I haven't checked to see if if you can still get Forex.com connected to NinjaTrader or not, but I know you can connect through Kinetic and get FXCM data. Although I noticed they did just have a price increase, so that's going to be the base 65 a month plus like 27 or 28 for the they went up from 25 a month just within the last month, I believe it was. But that's on kinetic data. Okay, still in the long on the pound Aussie, still in the short on the 8-tick crude. I'll turn on add-ons and see how close. Yeah, this is the trade that Trade Today got. 78, 77, yeah, 78. So within a pip. Stop loss at 8.99. 9.10. Yeah, just a little bit. Entry was 1 tick higher, so targets are 1 or 2 ticks higher. So yeah, it's pretty close to the same trade. Stop at 49 on both. Oh yeah, that last yellow trade is what the Trade Today service has got. And unleaded with a stop and reverse at 86. And I would go ahead and just push that to the natural stop for the trade at 87. Because you've also got this swing right here at 85. And this one back here at 85. So you've hit 85 twice. And it's touched 87, so we are now long on the 8-tick crude for the 10 a.m. session. Target at 99. Money management with the adjustment would be at 98. there's your money management with the stop and reverse adjustment. And of course, target is one tick above that. 99 and 5806. Yeah, that was a 28 tick risk, unfortunately. Don, you've got Spotlight already, don't you? So you could get the full version of Spotlight on TradeStation if you wanted to trade off the TradeStation charts. I do find the Wanda's data to be a bit more active than what the indications that I see from TradeStation data and when I see it on Troy's charts Monday and Wednesday. Yes, I know you have NT. But you're going to have the same issue. Most places that you're even with NT, because the data is going to be different on Kinetic than your brokers would be. That's very true. And the only reason that you're using MT4 on the trade a day service with Awanda is you've got the FX Synergy Trade Manager. You're not using the charts themselves. Pound Aussie getting close to the stop on my chart. Trade today is solidly in the long, but well off of your full stop, which is down below the 50 EMA at 78.49. I would love to hide the stop on the pound Aussie below the 220, but I would be risking about three pips to do that. Actually, 4 pips to do that. That would be putting it at 59. Not much. 8-tick crude just meandering about, currently in the long. It did stop and reverse. So far, pound Aussie still surviving. Interesting that all of the trades on my chart on the pound Aussie are off of the 50 EMA. Yeah, it is, Jay. I read an article yesterday where apparently the hedge funds are expecting crude prices to be fairly strong over the next couple of years as the industry takes some time to recover from COVID, because a lot of the major U.S. players have some cash flow issues at the moment, wanting to pay down some debt and so forth. So they're expecting prices to be high because they're not be pushed up because the supply is not going to be quite as high as it has been. Getting really close, getting within 3 ticks of the stop on the pound Aussie on my chart. And hitting the stop on the pound Aussie. So that completes that trade. If you played it as plotted, as I said, with the 2 targets already in the bank, oops, back over this one. So you already had 36 pips in the bank, risking 4 pips on whatever number of positions you have. That would be, you're risking about 1/3 of what you've already made if you put the stop below the 200. Interesting how unleaded is moving much better or in much more orderly fashion than either of our crude charts. Yeah, and crude looks like it's very possibly setting up a reverse to short. It's going to be a itty bitty trade. But we have the exhaustion dots. So a close below will, let's see, the exhaustion dots are at 85. And that bar will close at 73. So the stop and reverse would set up at 67. Which is way down here. It's only going to save us about 3 ticks. But 83 to, and there it is. Set up at 69, stop and reverse at 67. Money management moves down 2 ticks. It's to 57. So our first actionable target is going to be target 3 at 53 for 14 ticks. But the other side of that is trade plan says 2 losses, and that's what that would be. You got 2 stop and reverses, so that really is just an exit at 67. Not much fun there. And another filtered out short trade on the pound Aussie on my charts. That's actually the 3rd squeeze zone filtered trade as the chart plots there. We had this one that was a stop and reverse at the, if you take the adjustment, you could take that trade, which is where I got in trouble. This one, the setup is at 59, so 57, yeah, would be right in there. No, it's not a stop and reverse, so yeah, 59. So not taking that one. But even the stop and reverse would be a squeeze zone, assuming trade a day's moving averages are about the same as mine. But so far the long trade is surviving on the 8-tick crude. And almost back up to its entry point. Bouncing off the 50 EMA again. But not being able to move very far. Yeah, back at the entry. Hitting 88, so we're slowly moving up. We'll keep it going till 11 o'clock and see where it goes. Say, where was that contest about what to call a slow-moving market? Snail races, paint drying, what have you. Paint peeling. Definitely applies this morning. And unleaded hitting another. So if you're trading mini sessions on unleaded and take a 10 o'clock session, that's a money management. Target one is 57 ticks. And just hit that. So another nice trade. And the 8-tick crude getting close to its money management. The stop has plotted a move up, but it hasn't yet because our entry was at 88, so our money management is at 98. This was a small trade. Our stop and reverse adjustment with the key level was like 4 ticks, and there's money management for us. So stop moves to 83. Actually, stop moves all the way up to 87. And target achieved for 11 ticks. So we've got 11. Is that right? Yeah, we ended up moving 6. From 82 Is the entry would have been 86. The original entry, oh no, the original stop and reverse entry would have been 86. And we moved to 87. Right, we used 87. So, yeah, 12 tick target. So 12 and 21, no, 12 and 19 for targets 2 and 3. So we can take a third trade in the 10 o'clock session, since we are going to be positive on this trade. And pound Aussie. Whoa, got as low as 49.1 on the Wanda data. Very close to the stop at 49. Got within 1 tick on my Wanda data. For what trade a day had. Oh, that's what's wrong. Money manager should have been 97 on that. That was my mistake. But makes no difference. Yeah. Don, sounds like you got filled like I did on the stop and reverse that I had on my chart when I moved the entry on that short. Because we got down to 47.2. On that one, and I got filled at 47. I got filled at 47.2 apparently. Let's see what I did get filled at. Yeah, I got filled at 47.0, and the data only showed it down getting as low as 47.2. but yeah, that one got, at least according to the data, the bar only got down to 47 or to 49.1. Okay, crude, 8-tick crude did come down to 88, so that would have stopped that out for 1 tick on the trailer. So that is where I'm going to call it a morning unless there are questions. We can take another trade and then, well, hey, no, the 10 a.m. session just ended. So did you not get taken out, Mary Jean? So are you still in the long? Now, what long are you still in? Because you were originally still in the long that I originally initiated back around 9:35. The long we're talking about now is the one from about, what, 10:16? Yeah, 10:16:53 or thereabouts. Yeah, if you were in this one, you should have stopped out here, and you haven't had a chance to get back into this one yet. Did you enter this one while you were still in this one? Because you should have had a trailing position in that one, most likely. Unless you haven't got a trailer going, that could be it. Good luck in the long. The trade station charts apparently are still in it. And my chart actually would still be in it. Missing the stop by 1 tick. Now, whether or not I would still have an order in that trade is a whole nother story. Troy will be back in tomorrow for the normal Wednesday session and the crude oil inventory report. And we will be back here in one moment. Be right back. All right. Okay. That's... Yeah, you were in on this earlier one. So that should have been one and done for you today, Mary Jean, according to trade plan. That one hit target 2. All right, so we're out of that one. Everyone have a good afternoon, and we will do it again tomorrow. Crude oil inventory report tomorrow. Yeah, really. Yeah, that's what I'm... His... Or at least what he's seeing on TradeStation didn't stop out. I know Troy trades Owanda, so it would be interesting if he stopped out on that one, if he was trading it or not. Probably, I can't tell who's here and who's not on TradeStation Live. I can see numbers of viewers, but not who's in the room. I would say so too, MJ. Everyone have a good afternoon, and see you tomorrow.